Girl Stolen by April Henry. Chapter 1. 1,000 things wrong. Cheyenne heard the car door open. She didn't move from where she lay, curled up in the back seat, her head resting on her bent arm. Despite the blanket that covered her, Cheyenne was shivering. She had begged her stepmom to leave the key in the car so she could turn on the heat if she got cold. After some back and forthing, Danielle agreed. That only been 5 minutes ago, and there she was, already back. Maybe the doctor had phoned in the prescription and Dial didn't have to wait for it to be filled. Now the door slammed closed, the SUV rocking as Little's weight settled in the driver's seat. The engine started. The emergency brake clumped as it was released. The car jerked into reverse. It was 1,000 little things that told Cheyenne that something was wrong. Even the way the door closed hadn't sounded right. Too fast and a little too hard for Danielle. The breathing was all wrong, too. Speeded up and harsh. Cheyenne sniffed the smell of cigarettes. But Danielle didn't smoke. As a nurse, couldn't stand anyone who did. There was no way the person driving the car was my stepmom. But why would someone else have gotten in the car? It was a Cadillac Escalade. So it wasn't likely someone had just gotten confused and thought it was their car. Then she remembered the keys. Somebody was stealing the car. And Cheyenne was pretty sure they didn't know who was in it. She froze, wondering how much the blanket covered her. She couldn't feel it on top of her head. Cheyenne felt like a mouse. She had seen her in the kitchen. One time, she turned on the light before school, caught in the middle of the floor. It had stood stock still. Maybe like he wouldn't notice it would move. But it hadn't worked out for the mouse. And now it didn't work for Cheyenne. She must have made one small sound. Maybe the thief had looked back to see if someone was following and then realized the shape was underneath the blanket. A swear word. A guy's voice. She'd already halfway known that it was a guy. The way sometimes just knew things now. Who the hell are you? His voice broke in surprise. What are you doing in Daniel's car? Their words collided and entangled. Both of them speaking too fast, almost yelling. Sitting up, she scrambled against the door, the one farthest from him. Stop our car and get out. No, he shouted back. The engine surged out as he drove faster. Cheyenne realized she was being kidnapped. But she couldn't see the guy who was kidnapping her, or where they were going, because for the last 3 years, Cheyenne had been blind.